Yes, that is the sweet sounds of the late Jerry Garcia, who died 22 years ago on August 9th. We originally recorded this show on August 9th, so it had a little more meaning then, but we're 2 days later now. It's August 11th. Joe Gill, Jimmy Murphy right here in the Bruins Beat on CLNS Media, and we bring you into the Grateful Dead, yes, to honor Jerry Garcia. A lot of Dead fans actually like to call that, Joe, from August 2nd, which was his birthday, to August 9th, which is the day he passed away. It's an exact week. So actually, after we recorded that amazing podcast that never was to be, that we will never have a version of again, probably will be the best one we ever do, right? Because we didn't record it, right?
That was like Geraldo going into looking for Al Capone's vault and there was nothing in it. So that was about the same thing.
No, that was like if he found it but nobody saw it.
Yes.
It was like if he was in the woods and the tree fell but nobody heard it. You know, like
nobody heard it, Jimmy.
That was our record. And actually, I go out, Joe, after we record that, and I go to my local here in Waltham, Mass. It's become my local because they play such great music. They have a great staff. It's called The Gaff. Free plug here. And
I'm gonna go. We're gonna go.
And after that, Mr. Gaff and Mrs. Gaff, you will pay if we advertise you again. But you know, it's a great place. It's good character, good people. It's really chill. And I walk in after recording that podcast that had that Jerry Garcia Grateful Dead theme to it.
No
and it's open mic night, and the guy jamming is playing Scarlet Begonias. And I'm like, whoa, that was weird.
Oh, my God.
So then I'm thinking, wow, that's great. We have this great and then I get that message from our producer, Jason Buckley, and Jason says, yeah, guys, that did record. We're fucked. So there we go.
Happens, Jimmy, this is what happens when you give tools to monkeys. So that's what happens.
Yes, exactly. So here we are, take two. The Bruins Beat, I believe it's edition number 4 with you and I, Joe. And like I said, it's got a
number 3. It's actually 3.5.
Okay, we'll say 3.5. And a little Jerry Garcia story before we get into it, and it is hockey related. So 1995, which is a significant year in Boston Bruins history because if you recall the 94-95 season, which was cut in half and didn't start till January 1995 because of a lockout, was the last season ever at TD Garden. So a great, moment in Bruins, or not a great moment, actually a sad moment in Bruins history. And that year, I am a sophomore at UMass Amherst, and a good 40 to 45 minutes max down the road on 91 happens to be the Hartford Civic Center. In those days, if you had a student ID, you got in for $10 and you got $3 beers at an NHL game. Can you imagine that today?
The mall.
Just think about that, folks. Folks, think about Joe, think about that deal right now.
Dude, Jimmy, we used to go to concerts for $20, Jimmy. You used to go to Worcester Central for $20. Now they're like $70.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I wanted to go actually tonight as we record this. One of my favorite bands, Social D, is at the Palladium in Worcester.
I'm going to let you know. You're going to. I am not going to Tesla next Wednesday, so I will be here to do the show with you.
It's just,
and
you know what, Joe? That's just a sign.
And hopefully record it. That's what we're trying to do. Hopefully record it.
That went right over your head, buddy.
You are sons of bitches.
Tesla, signs,
Oh, dude, you know what? Everybody loves that song, but it's probably not because it's a fucking dead song. It's not their best song. Truckin's a good song. That's a dead song. They did a great cover of that.
I know. Is that undedicated? Is that undedicated, by the way?
So what's that?
That's undedicated, right? With there was 25 bands, I think, did a bunch of Dead tribute songs. Jane's Addiction does a great song on there. They do Ripple, which we're going to close the show with.
Tesla's really good. I know that they did that Sign song, and they're very popular and very successful 5-man acoustical jam that came out in the late 80s.
Okay.
But that, I'm like I said, I'm not a big Dead fan. I like a couple songs, but I did like I like John Mayer. I think he's a way better guitarist than a singer.
Oh, it's amazing.
And he was playing with
I think he's been a great fit. But let's get back to this story. So there we are. We go down, a group of us. We had a busload, and excuse me, and then 5 sidecars going down for the trip. I mean, there was a good 40-something of us coming down from Amherst. All my housemates, pretty much my whole group, and then we're all there. We're having a great time, and I just decided to drive that day, so I said, you know what, I'm going to stop after the first period. I stopped drinking, sobered up, had a nice greasy steak and cheese right outside, was ready to go, except I didn't realize that all my passengers would be tripping on either shrooms or acid or both. I should have realized that, considering the crowd I was with. And, we put on the Dead. I tried to mellow them out a bit because they were really seeing the ride a lot different than I was. And so there we are in dead traffic coming out of Hartford on 91 because there's so many people going back to Amherst. And we put the windows down. It's a nice day in March. And all of a sudden, Ripple comes on by the Dead, and everybody around us in the highway starts blasting it and singing it, and people are out in the streets dancing. And it was a great, in honor of Jerry Garcia, I had to tell that story. It was a great hockey Grateful Dead memory, if there is such a thing.
Beautiful thing.
It really is. And, speaking of tripping, Joe, how tripping, I mean, I'm wondering, did they do shrooms, acid, both, coke, mescaline? I mean, what drugs were the NHL Network? What drugs was the NHL panel on when they decided their top 10 goalies recently? It didn't have Tuukka Rask in there. Look, Bruins fans, I'm not going to argue with you. Has it been a pretty 3 years for Tuukka Rask? No. He's had some ups and downs for sure. It's been a roller coaster for him. But let's face it, they don't even taste Game 6 of that series last year against the Ottawa Senators, let alone the playoffs without Tuukka Rask.
True story.
And, let's think about the defense that was in front of him. So who the hell is the NHL Network to not put him in the top 10 there, considering out of active goalies right now, he has the best save percentage ever in his career. So your take on that, Joe, I know you're not always a Rask fan, but I think we're in agreement here.
You know what? I mean, again, we went through this the other night in our ghost version of the story, of the podcast. I think it's, as they call it, le horseshit. I think that's bullshit. So, did he have a great year the last 3 years? Has he been great?
No. It's Tabernack.
I don't know what that even means. But he should be top 10. There's no doubt about it. Top 5, maybe not. I'm a huge Tuukka fan, but not top 10. That's complete horseshit. That's complete horseshit in every way. Let's go through. I'm going to go through the list quickly, Jim. I'm going to go through this list. Carey Price, number 1. How many Stanley Cup Finals has he been to? 0.0. Braden Holtby.
Wait. But see, and here's the thing. I mean, I don't know what the criteria of this list was. I mean, if you're talking current goalies in the NHL and you're considering their international play as well as their NHL play, well, then I could see Carey Price at number 1.
Right.
I'm all right with that there.
Yep. Okay. And then we got Braden Holtby, who actually crapped his pants this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would have him more in the 6 to 7 to 8 range.
Yep. Sergei Bobrovsky's good every 3 years, and he sucks the other 2 of the 3.
So I'd have him up there around the same as Holtby.
Matt Murray, rookie, 2 Stanley Cups. I see him top 5.
No, he's got to be in there.
Clutch. He's better than Leflauer.
I mean, not. It's a small example of him so far, but what we've seen from him, he's a freaking stud. So I have no problem with that.
Devin Dubnyk, whatever the goddamn name is, he used to play at Edmonton. He used to suck, and he goes to Minnesota, and he's pretty decent.
No, but here's the thing, Joe, with him. Here's an interesting thing with him. Do I think he's top? What is it? They have him at 4, you said, or 5?
5.
Okay, he's not top 5. I do put him in the second tier there, maybe
top 10?
8, 9, or 10. Yeah, okay. He's borderline. Okay. He's borderline top 10 because let's face it, man. Look at his stats cumulatively, with the exception of the first half of this past season. He came back. He had a great second half. The Wild don't even taste the freaking playoffs without him.
Sure.
He's been amazing. I don't blame him for his progression, that it stalled and he sucked in Montreal. He sucked in Edmonton. He sucked wherever he was. Look at Tim Thomas, man. The guy didn't break out till he was in his mid-30s, So there's not – you can't knock a guy for that. I actually respect that more than anything. It's being a freelance journalist – battling my way through right now in my early 40s, I can't knock a guy for not blossoming till he got into his mid-30s to late 30s. But,
Jimmy, you're my blossom, Jimmy.
But he's not. He's not he's no more than a 9 or 10. He's no more than a 9 or 10.
Yes, Jonathan Quick, 3 years ago, top 3. Now bottom. He's probably bottom. He's probably 7.
He's same thing. Tail end of the 10. Tail end of the 10.
Yep, he's getting hurt. He's catching up with him. Cam Talbot. Oh Christ, lightning at a ball.
Now that's bullshit. He's had one good year. He's had one good year, and he hasn't it wasn't necessarily the best year.
Jimmy, they want Edmonton to be they want Edmonton to be, somewhat of a story because McDavid. We know McDavid's unbelievable, but you want to put Edmonton back in the playoffs because Canadian team, all this bullshit. So that's why he's getting the pub. Okay, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Henrik Lundqvist. Yeah, I think 8 is probably exactly where he belongs. He's not a Hendrick of a couple of years ago. He's not a Hendrick of even last year. He's 8. That's perfectly good. Now, this is where Tuukka should be in. 8 to 10, 7 to 10, okay? Martin Jones. Okay, now he's going to be – I don't know how many times I'm going to hear this. If we kept Martin Jones, we'd be so much better. No, that's not true because you didn't have San Jose's defense. So let's tell the truth. Okay? You don't know how good he would have been here at all. You have no idea. I just hate that argument. It makes me pissed off. There's a guy called Ryan Richards in my freaking chat room. It's always like, trade Rask, Martin Jones. Martin Jones, okay, how many cups he's got? 0. He went to 1, yes. But he also has one of the best defenses in the league. So, shut it. And Rene, I don't know what they based it on. I guess just regular season. He went to the Cup final. He had shitty games on the road, but he was incredible at home. So, I think he deserves higher than 10. You know what I mean? I think Talbot could be off this list, and I think Tuukka should be on it.
I'd have Rene literally in the top 5, easy.
Yeah, no doubt. He went to the fucking Cup.
But he's been nasty. Like, he's been insane. So
he's been injured too, yeah? He's been injured too.
I guess it's just, it's his...
like you said, you're a buddy of Kevin Weeks. You didn't know what the hell he was talking.
I know, and I love Kevin Weeks. I love
Kevin Weeks too, but I don't. And he's a big Tuukka guy, as you mentioned before.
Which is weird, right? So how did this happen?
So I don't know how Tuukka's not top 10. I don't give a shit if you hate Tuukka Rask and you wear Tim Thomas underoos. There's no doubt that Tuukka, he should be at least at the very least 9 to 10, least.
So here's what I'll say. I'll try to spin a positive out of this. I really hope that Tuukka can take this and he sees this because, it's a dead time in the hockey news cycle, right? And this did get a lot of play, not just in Boston. Nationally, it got a lot of play. So he had to have seen that. They're going to try and say, well, I don't follow social media. I try to stay off. Yeah, bullshit.
Well,
these guys are on social media 24/7. Who are we kidding? Okay? So he had to have seen that, and I hope he takes it to heart and he comes out and he has this. That's been kind of the thing lately for Tuukka, right? It's been a tough start to the last few seasons. I hope Tuukka comes out and just really rips it up.
Yeah.
But as I tweeted the other day, prior to our Ghost recording, and I said this then, I've got a very high up source with the NHL and with the Bruins. Actually 3 sources that I trust very much telling me that Don Sweeney has basically put a mandate on the coaching staff that Tuukka will not get more than 60 starts. He would prefer 55. That is Don Sweeney's max, but he understands. He understands that shit happens, and who knows? Maybe you're in the heat of making that last playoff seed at the end of the year, and you got to play him a little more than expected. It happens. But Don Sweeney would actually prefer 55, and I'm right with him there, man. My question, though, Joe, is the Bruins in their current state.
You've got a great stat about the Tuukka argument. What did we talk about? Who's number one in save percentage?
Tuukka.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but my question to you, Joe, is, and to Bruins fans out there, I know you got a crowd listening on Facebook Live. Love to hear their take as well. Is that, I think that's a great goal. I think it's very reasonable. It's very realistic. I think it's smart. My problem is they don't have the backup to do it. And that's no offense to Hudobin. I think he's a great guy. He's good in the clubhouse. But, let's face it, he sucks. And the thing is...
the dough blows.
So, you're talking 22 to 27 games from your backup. I don't trust Hudobin in that span.
Nope.
So, what do you do?
No,
who's out there right now?
Well, remember at the end of the year, when Cassidy took over, he caught lightning in the ball. He was pretty good at the end. Prior to that, the first 50 games.
That wasn't him catching lightning, though. That was the team. That was a team. You and I could have won a couple games the way they were playing then.
Oh, dude. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I moved so well as a 44-year-old fat man. But, yes, he sucked.
He's a young fat man.
Well, we had an argument about this in our ghost recording about McIntyre. Now, you didn't think he brought that much when he came up here. I thought opposite, because when you get thrown in hostile environments, when your defense is still gelling, still trying to find its form, and no McAvoy at the time, and you go up to Montreal and you go up to the Rangers, you play your ass off.
He was great in those 2 games. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry I disagree with you the other day. You're absolutely right.
Oh, holy shit. Stop the presses. What's the date today? August 11th. Jimmy Murphy is admitting a wrong. Holy shit.
I'm admitting a wrong.
Guy.
You are right. Those 2 games were gems, and he deserved to win them.
Joe
if I'm not mistaken, he lost the Montreal one, right?
No, he lost both.
He lost both, okay.
Yeah, they lost both, but like I said, the only reason they were in those games because of him. Because that's when they weren't together. They were still trying to find their way, and they were a big, you remember what? Tuukka was out, Hudobin was out because he pulled his, his pride muscle, and he was out, and so they had Subban and fucking McIntyre.
You know what would be a great backup now is this guy, Chad Johnson. Oh, wait, that's right, they had him. Oh, yeah, that's right.
We talked about him.
That's right, yeah. Why? Yeah, that's right. We
got rid of him in 2014. He's been with the Islanders and Calgary and maybe one more team.
And he's been great everywhere he goes.
Yeah, there's a little Chad Johnson splinter group out there that loves him. But, yeah, he did play well. We got rid of him. So that has been Achilles' heel for sure. They haven't had a good backup since the Tim Thomas-Tuukka tandem back in the Cup runs, that 2011 Cup run. Who's it been? Hudobin, Svedberg, Chad Johnson, Subban. How many more? It's like the Cleveland Browns fucking quarterbacks.
You know what I would have given a look at, but he got signed by the Jets, would have been Steve Mason.
Ooh, that would have been nice. Better than Steve Bertione.
I feel like he's one of those guys, the Steve Mason guy. He's at that point in his career. It's sort of like make or break.
He's on Philly now, isn't he? Philly?
Yeah. Wasn't he did he win the Calder, or was he was like a runner-up, right?
Yeah, but he was with Philly. He had some good years in Philly.
No, in Columbus I'm talking about.
Oh, Mason, yes. But he was in Philly too, right? Am I wrong?
Yes, he was just recently in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you're right. He did. When they were like an expansion team, he was their first goalie. Am I right?
No, dude. You're dating yourself now.
Oh, okay. How long has Columbus been around? Is it 10 years? 15?
Oh, maybe you're right. 2000.
You know what? Here we go.
2008-09, he won the Calder, but I think Columbus came in before then. I think Columbus was in 03-04.
All right, so I wasn't that far off, Jimmy. Jesus Christ, you're making me like I just came out of a tomb in Egypt. Oh, you're killing me, lad. Right, Blue Jackets. All right, here we go. Wikipedia. You gotta make me think now. There we go. Wikipedia. Team qualified for the Stanley Cup playoffs in the first time 2009. 2000, they came in the league.
There we go. Okay. All right. So here's the thing, Joe. So we're in agreement. They need a better backup, and I would expect just common sense, and also, a lot of people are talking about it behind the scenes. They're going to invite. I could see them inviting a goalie in on a PTO for camp. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? You can't do much worse than the guy.
And look, we're not we're not like knocking Hudobin. He is what he is, but
no, I am knocking.
We're talking about a little more than a backup here, right? I mean,
Jimmy, he blows. Jimmy, please, come on, someone pause.
I know, man, but I mean, if everything I'm hearing right now is true, I mean, a quarter of the season has to go to the second goalie. So we need a little more than just a fill-in guy here. We need a guy that, God forbid something happens to Tuukka, I mean, can step in and carry the load. So they don't have that right now. I hope McIntyre steps up and does it because I like him. I'm with you. But I don't see him. I don't think he's ready for that yet. No. But,
what are you going to do? But I just
and by the way, why is Malcolm Subban even part of the Bruins organization? When they have the chance to let him go, just let him go. His money? Peace. Goodbye. See you. Why did they sign him again?
I don't get, Jim, I have no idea. Jim, that was the dumbest signing I've ever seen in my life. Is it something that they had to prove to themselves that we have to sign this guy because we screwed up so goddamn bad with that draft pick that we don't know? Was there a guy picked
I think they look at it where they believe he still has enough skill where they can maybe trade him, and obviously they can't trade him if they don't own him, or if he doesn't have a contract. It makes it a lot easier. He's locked up, cheap as hell, still has potential. I mean, somebody's going to think that they can fix him, but I mean, I'm sorry. He lives off. He basically rides his brother's coattails.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the league 5 years, okay? He's been in the league 5 years, and I'm sure there were guys drafted after him. There was a few goalies after him that waved at Ryan. Let's see. Who was drafted after him? That
Matt
was
Murray?
Really... Yes. Oh, he's pretty good.
Look, I'm telling you right now, this is fact. They did that to stick it to the Canadians.
Oh, well, that worked out, said no one.
And where's PK now?
Oh, he's a pile of shit. Oh, God. Not PK. I love PK. He's in Nashville. But, yeah, so it's funny how PK goes to Nashville and we all like him now. Like when Sidney Crosby smashed his face in the ground.
Speaking of PK, side story here before we get into our next topic of what the fuck is going on with the David Pastrnak stuff here.
Oh, God.
Side story. One of my buddies, he's a former NHLer, scout for the New York Islanders, Dorchester, Mass native, went to CM, went to BU. His name is Chris O'Sullivan. I don't know.
Oh, Sully. I remember him.
Okay. Do you know what he looks like?
Played with the Bruins, didn't he, for a little bit?
Yeah. So Google PK Subban and click on images, and Chris O'Sullivan will probably be in at least 10 to 15% of the pictures you see.
Why?
Because he is now PK Subban's Ray Donovan.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Oh, and by the way, he's a Boston cop.
I want to see Ray Donovan. Oh, Chris O'Sullivan's a cop now?
Yes. Chris O'Sullivan.
Well, Irish guy is a Boston cop. That's never, ever happened.
And he's traveling to Hollywood over the summer with PK Subban. And he is head of PK Subban security.
No way.
And PR.
Oh, cool. You know what? I'm looking at Google Images. I don't see any.
And I'll tell you how it happened was they both had the same
there's a Caucasian fellow. Is this him? No.
There's a picture of Larry David, Larry David's wife, PK, PK's dad, and then a white Irish-looking guy on the right, and that's Chris O'Sullivan. It should come up.
Was he a winger, the Bruins?
He never played for the Bruins. Played for the Flames and the Islanders.
Oh, the Isles, okay. There are white people here. Yes, I think, yes. He's got like brownish hair. He's got brown eyes.
Yep. There he is. I mean, if you go to Google right now and you type in PK Subban, Larry David, the first and then you click on images, the first picture you see is with Chris O'Sullivan. He's on the right.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. He's like the hockey version of Ray Donovan.
I got to see that movie. That show, by the way.
The movie.
I haven't seen it yet. Looks really good.
I want to touch you, kid.
I know, it's terrible. I love Leaf Sheeper, too.
By the way, Larry David's wife is such a cougar, huh?
Larry David's wife. Is that? God. I've seen his show, but is that his wife actually in the show?
Look at her in that picture right now. Oh my God!
All right, Jimmy, put the KY away. Put the friggin' basket away. This is a kid show. My son's upstairs, for Christ's sake.
So let's just go to the Czech Republic and talk about. Oh wait, a lot of good-looking ladies in the Czech too. Let's go talk about David Pastrnak, who's who's probably the reason he doesn't care about his contract is because he's hanging out in Prague right now with all those beautiful ladies. I mean, what are the Bruins thinking right now? What's going on here, Joe?
Why are they?
Are they getting a little too? Like, I think they're being a little too comfy with this situation, if you ask me.
Dude, your voice just went Mickey Mouse level. That was insane right there. What just happened?
They're being a little too comfy.
Hey, boys and girls. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to check your sphincter, bro. Anyway, Pastrnak now beat. We when we had our last show about 6 years ago, we talked about Pastrnak then, and it's like, how do you not sign this kid? 30 goals, 70 points. He's your sniper because you traded most of them away for garbage. Hello, Tyler Sagan. And you play in the old, because Chiarelli's going to sign Pajot. You wait for that. Did Pajot get signed yet, by the way?
He did.
All right, so what's the bullshit now? Because allegedly he was going to set the mark, and they're waiting for him to get signed. Now he's got signed, so what the fuck are we waiting for? Because this is bullshit. The Bruins just do this. They want to, like, finger fuck their fans. Excuse my French. This is just like, we spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on gear, on tickets, for your guy, Jeremy Jacobs, your buddy. And this is what you do. You rake us over the fucking coals. Like, is this fair? Is this fair to Pastrnak, who's come over here? Remember how dedicated he was last offseason? He put the weight on. He stayed in Boston. He didn't go back to Czech Republic. He came back and was stud. He sucked in the playoffs, we know. But he came back and just lit it up. Remember at one point we thought he might break 50 because he was on such a torrid streak? And this is how you treat him? I mean, Jesus, Jimmy, enlighten me on this shit. What is going on in your buddy Jeremy Jacobs' head?
Bonuses.
How much is the bonus that he could get? What is it? Tell me.
I don't even have the numbers in front of me, but I'm telling you it's bonuses, and this is what we're seeing more and more with these RFA deals. He's not the only one. Wenberg's not signed in Columbus. There's another young kid, I believe he's, I forget who it was. It's all bonuses now. They are so afraid. No, because, look, we all know there's another lockout or a strike coming.
Of course it is, because it's
okay. So the teams now are very hesitant to give that guaranteed money. Got to remember, he signs that deal right now, and that carries him. He doesn't get paid for that lockout year or that strike year. So they're not worried about term. They're worried about bonuses right now.
Oh, I got a bonus.
And that's all it's about right now. I'm telling you, this has to do with the CBA. This has to do with the NHLPA. And by the way, I am not an owner's man, but I will tell you right now, the NHLPA needs to rid themselves of Donald Fear. He doesn't give a shit about them, and he's in it for himself, and he's taking money from the NHLPA as we speak, and they don't even know it because they're a bunch of blind sheep.
We're getting on the Eagleston. So here's the thing. This is what I'm breaking out right now. I know what you said right now, but this is what I get for Jeremy Jacobs. I'm going to do a sound effect right now. You ready?
Yes, you can.
All right, this is because I'm a huge fucking Star Wars nerd. So I'm just, like, sticking my lightsaber through Jeremy Jacobs' heart right now. I'm just sticking this shit. Like, I'm just sticking it in again. Okay, because I'm a nerd, Jimmy, because I'm 44 and I'm a nerd. But I'm just sick of this. Like, the guys that we need to sign, we don't, and the guys that we shouldn't sign, we do. Jimmy Hayes. God, come on, can we just keep a good thing going? Like, we're starting to move up the mountain again. Well, let's not jump off the cliff.
Well, they didn't sign Jimmy Hayes. They traded for him.
I know, Jimmy. I know. I know he traded for him.
Almost, I can't believe in my eyes, it's almost worse.
I can't believe we want Riley Smith back after that, because Riley Smith sucked the second year. He's good the first year, second year he sucked.
And we do know. I mean, we have confirmed it on this podcast again. And for anyone that didn't listen, I can tell you, the Bruins offered Jimmy Hayes straight up for Riley Smith back to the Panthers.
Told me this.
Yeah, leading into the draft, and the Panthers, they laughed more than a Larry David show.
Didn't they trade Riley Smith?
Yeah, they exposed him in the expansion draft in Vegas.
Oh, he went to Vegas. Okay.
But they literally just laughed. They were like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, I mean, they know they fleeced us. I mean,
and I want to say too, back to the Tuukka thing and the goalie situation. when that ranking came out and all that conversation went rampant on social media, a lot of people obviously kept going back to why did they trade Martin Jones and should have kept him over Tuukka, blah, 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 blah. And some guy says to me, well, why can't we just, trade for Martin Jones now and give them Tuukka now? I'm like, this is the thing, like, look, we love you all. But if you're going to throw trade proposals at me on social media, you can follow me at Murphy's Law 74. Let me tell you something. Come on. Why would San Jose pick up that salary when they have Martin Jones, who's making almost next to the league minimum? Okay? It's not going to happen. And by the way, I can tell you right now that I know a lot of people in the Sharks organization, and they are laughing
the Bruins
so hard that they were able to pull that trade off.
Give me that trade again. So that trade was Lucic.
No. Lucic was part of it in a way. Lucic went to the Kings for Martin Jones, and then the Bruins traded Martin Jones to the Sharks for a first-round pick that they then took. I believe it was Trent Frederick. I might be wrong, but they took a guy I know that was way off the boards and sucks.
Oh, good. That worked out. Shane Stevenson. What's up, Rob Sameta? Thank God. Thank God. Let's get that Russian goal. You remember that Russian goal, Rybakov, whatever the hell they got years ago?
Evgeny Rybakov. Oh, yeah. Good call.
Oh, what a bag of dicks he was, too. He was so bad for so long in the drafts. Holy shit.
Well, I hear.
But anyway.
Well, listen, we gotta close it up, my friend. We're coming down on the time.
You know what, Jimmy? I gotta say something right now. This was better than the first one.
This has been what?
This is better than the one we did Wednesday night that never got recorded.
You think? I don't know.
I do know, because you know why, Jimmy? Because I've had beers, you've had beers, and we're happier.
Well, I didn't have beers. I did have Tito's, but yes.
Wine, Tito's, vodka, extraterrestrial elements.
Shrooms, acid, you name it.
Well, I didn't get into that.
All in the name of the Hartford Whalers, the Boston Bruins, and the Grateful Dead. Ripple. Good night. This has been the Bruins Beat. Joe Gill. Want to say one last word, brother?
When you get the Bruins beat, never turn us off.
All right. Come back again. We look forward to having you and listening to you this season, you listening to us this season. This has been the Bruins Beat. Jimmy Murphy, Joe Gill. Talk to you next week. Rest in peace, Joe.
Gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the heart unstrung. Would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's handed down. Hearts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsaid. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again, let it be known. There is a fountain that was not made